Welcome to our web conferencing overview. Today we're going to go over the basics on how to start and run your meeting. When you first log in, you're going to be presented with the option to allow or deny your microphone. So if it's the first time you're joining, you get this pop-up, you're going to want to go ahead and allow it. This can give your computer permission to share your webcam and microphone with the web conferencing tool. There's a couple of settings that you can configure right away. So when you're first logging in, you may want to test or change your microphone. So you can click that just to make sure that your correct webcam or microphone is selected. It's going to automatically go to your default, so most of the time you won't actually need to do this, but if you are ever having any problem or where users aren't hearing or seeing you properly, remember you can check it here. You can also test your speakers so to make sure that you're actually hearing the conference and everyone else that's joined. But for most users, you're simply going to be able to get in, click Join Audio, and now everyone's going to be able to hear your microphone so you can communicate with the group. I'm as the example moderator, and you're going to see my microphone is active. I've got a second guest in here right now, and they didn't turn their microphone on. They're just sitting back and listening to me. So you're going to see right now next to them, they don't have a webcam or microphone icon. If a user wants to join with the audio after that initial screen, they always can. Simply by going to the left-hand corner here, clicking the icon, and then it's going to bring up the webcam settings and audio settings that we saw at the beginning. So this is going to allow me to, again, test or change my microphone, test my speakers, or simply join the audio. So now that my audio is set up and I'm ready to get started, I'm going to kind of go through the interface here. So one thing that's important to know is that there's a variety of layouts, so you can customize how you want your meeting to look. So right now I've got a custom layout, but I'm going to switch that here in the bottom right hand corner and change it to the default layout. This is what most users are going to start with. We're going to see this is going to give all of our common tools their own proper place within the meeting. So let's go over all those briefly. On the right hand side, I've got my chat where I can communicate with my guests without using the microphone. So I can type in and say hello to everyone, or I can communicate directly with individuals. So if I go up to options, I can select a user, so I'm going to select my guest that's in my meeting, and now I can say hi to them alone. So that's going to be a private message, and now you're going to see I've got that specific person, and I can have, if I had multiple people in here, I could chat with all of them individually. And if I ever want to go back to chat with the group, I just click public, and I've got all that information again. This section is also where your additional meeting info is. So if you needed to give someone the passcode or the meeting ID, you can do that here because you can see everything you need is highlighted right here for your convenience. The next thing to be aware of is your users section. So all my users are going to show up here. A couple important things you can do here is if I wanted to promote someone else, like for instance, if I wanted to give the guest charge of the meeting, I could just simply click this little icon. You're going to see this little icon appears showing that now they're the host, and there's just a user icon by my name showing that I'm just a guest. And if at any time I want to control back, I just go ahead and click by my name, and now I'm in charge again. Also in this cog icon, if I click here, users are able to raise their hands, ask questions, and this is where I'm able to reset that. So it's a good way to communicate if everyone's not going to be using microphones. That way they can use, between using the chat and using the raise hand feature, they're able to communicate with you effectively. So let's get into the actual running of our meeting. So I'm going to start off by sharing a PowerPoint. So I can go down here, there's a little icon here, and I can upload my document. So you're going to see right now I have an image document in here, and I have a different PDF. So I've got a couple things in here. So I'm actually going to use a new document. So I'm going to go to Select File. I'm going to look for the document I want, which is Presentation PDF. I'm going to select it and click Open, and now I'm going to upload that to my library. So when I upload it, it's a quick process. It's basically to briefly convert it and bring up that PowerPoint that I just loaded. Our meeting tool will allow you to upload documents in most common formats, including PDF, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and just JPEG images and other image types. Right now I've uploaded a PowerPoint that I've actually converted to a PDF. A lot of times converting to a PDF will actually make your document look better when uploaded to the meeting. It keeps everything consistent and locks everything in place. So while it's not required, it is recommended. So now that I've got my document up, I'm going to actually change my view again. I'm going to go down here and change from default to webinar. So we're going to see in the webinar mode, it's giving my document a lot more room. So I can actually see that better. I can still see my chat interface, and I also have room to show my webcam. But for now, let's focus on the document. So I can control my document here by moving through the arrows, which are going to take me through the steps. I can also jump ahead to wherever I want. If I select the center area, I can go exactly to the document I'm looking for, and I'll jump ahead to wherever I need to be. So I can skip around very quickly and effectively throughout the meeting. A couple of other useful tools are your zoom in and zoom out modes. So I can actually use this zoom bar here. So let's say I really want to get in close to my graph. So I can go ahead and get in here and make that huge, make that really easy for everyone to read, and be able to make that something that I can really highlight. There's no confusion there. So I simply did that by using my zoom tool to where it was comfortable, and then I can grab the document and move it around to whatever looks best. I also have a series of annotation tools here, so if I'm trying to highlight a specific area, so if I want to make a box around something, let's make a bright box around this 95, I can go ahead and put that right there and make that a little more of a highlight. I can even increase the size of it, so let's say that that's still too subtle for me. I really want 82 to be a massive focus for everyone. I can go ahead and just put that in there. And then when I'm done with all that, go ahead and just erase it and go back to normal. Now we're going to go back to moving on to the rest of our slides. If at any time it is still zoomed in when you flip from slide to slide, remember that you can just move this in and out simply by going back and forth here on your slider bar. So now we've covered the basics of sharing a presentation. Using a Word document, using Excel is going to work very similarly, where you can zoom in, you can focus, and just like everything else, if I ever want to give control to one of my audience members, I can simply select their name, just like we looked at the beginning, and give them control of the meeting. So once they have the little podium icon by their name, now they're able to move the slides forward, they're able to load their own documents, and they can kind of control things. But for the most part, you're going to be running the show. So let's go into one of the most common things you can do besides sharing a presentation, which is sharing your screen. So we're just going to show that very briefly. I'm going to go up here to my desktop. So you're going to go ahead and click that My Desktop icon. You're going to get a pop-up here that's going to basically give you your options for how do I want to share my screen. Do I want to just share a small portion of my screen, just a region of it, or do I want to share the full screen? Also, if it's your first time doing it, you may want to test Java just to make sure you're running on a current version of Java. You don't have to be on the absolute latest version, but it is important that you're on a fairly current version of Java. So let's go ahead and share our whole screen. So I'm going to go ahead and choose full screen. It's going to ask for my permission to make sure that I want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and choose run. And if I want to, I can check this box here to not show that again, so I can just run it at any time. So now I'd be sharing my screen. So let me go ahead. So let's say I'm just want to share my document folders here. So I'm going to go ahead and just have a clean, nice interface here. Let's say I just wanted to share that same presentation, but I preferred to share it right here through my desktop instead of uploading it ahead of time. So now I'm able to flip through, share everything I want to on my screen, take my users through it. This can be handy, especially if you're doing a training, you're trying to walk someone through information. But generally, it's just a straightforward way to share your screen. When you're done with your screen, make sure you go back to the application, which you've minimized to move on, and you can just choose Close. One thing to be aware of, you do see right here is a preview, so that's what your guests are seeing. So that way, if you have this open perhaps on a second monitor, it's easy enough for you to know exactly what's being shown. You also have blue bars that's borders whatever you're showing, so you can know anything in that frame is what my guests are going to see. So let's go ahead and stop that. I'm going to click Close. And you're going to get a little Java applet. So you're going to get this right here, a little security warning. It's asking for your permission to go ahead and stop the screen sharing now. You can allow that. And again, I'd recommend saying do not show this app again, so that way it'll just remember next time. So let's go ahead and allow. And now your screen sharing stopped. Sharing your webcam is easy and can be done at any point in the meeting. To share your webcam, go to the top left corner, click the webcam icon. You'll be given the webcam settings. So you can choose here what resolution is best for you. You can see there's 3 resolutions to choose from, basically a low, medium, and high quality setting. The high quality is full HD. The differences here are going to come down to what type of meeting you're having. So if you're having multiple people showing their webcam, let's say 5 or more, you might want to choose a medium setting. If you're going to be having a large group, say 10 to 20 users all sharing their webcams, the low resolution is going to be the best option for you. And if you're showing just 1 or 2 people who are really trying to be crisp, clear pictures, that's when you're going to want to do the HD. The options really are going to come down to a combination of bandwidth and how many screens you want to have. So the higher the resolution, the more bandwidth they're going to use. So that's why if you're going to be showing more webcams, it's recommended that you use a lower resolution, just so you're not impacting the quality of the meeting too much. So for our example, I'm going to go ahead and choose the highest quality, the 720. If my webcam didn't come up automatically, I could go into change webcam settings, but since it's dead, I'm going to leave it alone. But if you're ever having, for instance, a situation where you have multiple webcams and the one you want isn't showing up, that's when you go into the change webcam settings. Make sure the correct one is selected. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing, which is going to take me back to my main meeting. So I'm seeing my full meeting page here, but my webcam's showing up in the corner. This is a scenario where, just like we were doing before, the different layouts are going to make a difference. So if I go into the layouts here, right now we're in default, which is going to have some room for webcam, but it's not a highlight. But let's say we really want to focus on that video. We can go into video chat, which is now going to completely focus on nothing but the video. So this is great, again, if we're going to have many webcam users or just one person who we're really trying to watch them speak. But let's say we had 10 users. We could have this webcam going. You'll have them all laid out. It'll automatically space them out. And if you click on any of them, it's going to highlight that person, make that one larger, and make everyone else smaller. And this is something anyone can do, not just the host. So the participants can all share their webcam in the same way that I shared mine right now. But before we move on, let me show you some of the other layouts. Another one that works really well is Meeting. So Meeting still makes webcam the priority, but I'm able to see a presentation or document over in my right-hand corner. So that way I can still have a document going that we're discussing, but we're able to see me crisp and clear while that's going on. So that's webcams. If you're ready to stop your webcam, just go ahead and click the webcam icon again, and it's going to turn that off, and you can go ahead and cancel it. And now my webcam is closed. The last thing I'll briefly show you is the ability to change languages within the interface. Up in the top right corner, you're going to see that it's automatically be in English, but you have a detailed language pack where you can go through and choose the language that's appropriate for your region. This is set up on a user-by-user basis, so if you're working with people all over the world, each person can change the interface to their appropriate language, and that can be changed at any time. This has been an overview of our web conferencing tool. Thank you for taking the time to learn about our tool. If there's anything you need, please reach out to us, and we'd be happy to help.